Angela Claydon.
Hello everybody, thanks for coming this afternoon. It's marvellous to be here again. I do seem to have been here rather a lot this last year. It's marvellous to be here, this time to welcome Ilkeston back to Ellesmere Port. I believe congratulations are in order to these people who have been all the way down to London with it and all the way back again. You've got all the hours, haven't you, that you've done, which you're going to fill us in on. I think it's great for Ellesmere Port that we've been able to advertise our museum in London, and I think that's what's really good, because we want people from all over the country to come here and see just how great Ellesmere Port is. So without further ado, I'll pass it on to John, who's got all the figures. I haven't got them.
I've got a few more thank yous to say, I suppose. First of all, thank you to the Heritage Boatyard, the volunteers, the staff, the trainees who restored Ilkeston earlier in the year. Ilkeston set off in June, and it's been a teamwork effort to get it to London and back. There's been a number of organisations involved, the Boat Museum Society, the museums at Stoke Bruerne, the London Canal Museum, and a special thank you to Martin Sack at the London Canal Museum. All the people who've been doing blogs and Twitters and taking photographs up and down the network. And I think we're probably up to about a dozen mayors who've met the boat at various Watford, Milton Keynes and various other locations. But in particular, there's also the Rickmansworth Waterways Trust were involved in one leg. But really from this particular museum, it was particularly, I wanted to say thank you to Kath and Mike Turpin, who couldn't be with us today, but they did the first leg from here to the Midlands. John and Sue, who brought it all the way back from London, and Steve and Anita, who've been on board since Birmingham. So there's been a lot of hours involved, a lot of effort involved, and I think John's actually the one that's got some useful, interesting statistics. This is like QI with Stephen Fry.
Well, if in doubt, give some figures, and because they cannot lie, can they? But before I give the figures, I'd like to give some thank yous too. And thank you to the museum for making all of this possible, to all the people involved in this project. I mean, just the volunteer hours on bringing her back from London amounts to 542 boating hours and another 44 display hours. So, I mean, these are big figures. It shows just what opportunity there is on the canal and in the museum and in this sort of historic boating for volunteers. And so what have they been doing? What have we been doing in our 542 volunteer hours? Well, 229 miles and 5 furlongs. Anyone know what a furlong is? Yes, there's quite lots of people would remember them from the backs of those Woolworths exercise books. On the way out, incidentally, it was more miles. But then they went the pretty way. They didn't go through Birmingham. They did 259.5 miles. So the total for the whole trip is 489 miles and 1 furlong, there and back, which for a centenarian, still waiting for the telegram incidentally, is really not bad at all. On the way back, Sue and I and various others managed 226 locks. Some of those were wide locks and some were narrow locks. The narrow locks, of course, we did twice. We had gangs of hufflers. Anyone know what hufflers are? Hufflers are people who come and help with the locks. Okay, so we had a huffling gang where was our first huffling gang? Lapworth. On the Stratford Canal. 3 people turned out there, the tailors, who are otherwise known for their boat, the Widgeon, and then we had the local team to see us down the 21 locks at Wolverhampton.
In the pouring rain.
In the pouring rain. Rain has been a feature of this trip, by the way, but then, hey, we need rain, otherwise these boats wouldn't be afloat, would they? I think I've probably said enough about our 114 hours of fun. Thank you very much.
If I can also introduce Guy Skilbeck, MBE, who's going to tell you a little bit about the history both of Ilkeston and Worcester, who are both celebrating their 100-year history.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to concentrate on Worcester, because Worcester is actually one I've known for the longest. I've been involved here for 38 years, and Worcester, in fact, was the boat that got me into it. And Worcester is our little tunnel boat, who is also celebrating her centenary. Her job would be to pull boats like Ilkeston through the tunnels while the horse was taken over the top. Now, Barbara Capron and I have just given her a birthday wash, so I hope you'll go and see her. She's on the other side of the locks. But I think it's testament to all of us as volunteers, past and present, that this fleet of boats still exists and can still get out on the system and be enjoyed by many, many other people. So it is a big thank you to the volunteers, which has already been said, I know, but as president of the society, I'm very, very proud of what we have all done and how we have created this wonderful museum, the National Waterways Museum, which we can all be very, very proud indeed, because we've all had a good hand in it. So, thank you.
Second the camera. These are